Hi, I'm Dr. Vishnu Durga, and you must be a growth-oriented business owner. As you know, we are setting up for our quarterly planning session that's coming up at the end of June, June 28th to be precise, at the Pegasus Exhibition Center, and our presenting partner there is GBTI. What I've heard a lot, and I see a lot of the questions coming in to our team via Facebook, WhatsApp, or website. So I know that many of you are interested. We have a few spaces left, and I really want to ensure that we have the right people in the room. So as we were having our own planning meeting here, we thought it is best if you know who we want to have in the room, who can most benefit from this session. So there's a little list here that you can see, and you might see it coming up on screen as well. The first thing we want is that you must be willing to grow. If you feel like you've already made it and you don't see that there's any more energy required to grow yourself, grow the company, then you're not a good fit for this. First, you as a human being must be willing to grow, and also your organization must be willing and ready to grow as well. Number two, ideally 10 plus employees. You'll find that a lot of the companies that are present do have 50 and 100 employees. And what's also very interesting, we have a lot of people who are just solopreneurs. It's just themselves. Especially if they're in some type of service-oriented business that doesn't require a lot of employees. They're highly skilled and they can do a lot on their own. We do find that, but what we found generally, 10 to 50 employees, it's a good sweet spot. For the companies that are 50 and 100 employees, we actually run this session privately for them. So if you are at 100 employees and above, I'm going to encourage you to reach out to us and see how we can do this just for your company only. Over $50 million in revenue, we find that that's also a good spot to be in. Ideally, 2 to 500 million in revenue, because then we can really make the plans focus on getting you to $1 billion per year. But we would say a minimum 50 million in revenue. And again, the exception is very growth-oriented solopreneurs or a couple of employees where they don't have the time or the energy to plan on their own, but they do want to have a very structured atmosphere to be able to do it in. Of course, a strong USP. Number 4 is a very strong USP, and USP basically means unique selling proposition. Meaning, what makes you special? What makes you different from what's already on the market? And does the market actually want that? Quick example with us, we are the only company in Guyana and around the world as well, especially in the action coach world, that is ISO 9001 certified for coaching and training. We own our own facilities, which gives us a lot of flexibility and resources to deliver training when it's needed, how it's needed. And we're one of the few companies in the world, and definitely the biggest one in Guyana, with 4 business coaches. So we have a lot of capacity as well, not just for coaching, but also for training. That's our USP. What is yours? What sets you apart in the market? Number 5, we're looking for market leaders. Are you the best at the thing you do, whatever you do? And you may not yet be the number 1 in the market. You do have the potential to be that, and that's where attending this session really helps you get to a place where you can lead the market strongly. We're looking, of course, number 6, businesses with a very clear vision. Because think about it, what is a plan? A plan is like a roadmap. When do you need a roadmap? You need a roadmap when you actually have to go somewhere. Other than that, you're not walking around with a map in your hands. So if you do have a vision, you have a destination, you want to get somewhere, then you need a plan. Then you must be in the room. Number 7, wanting the time and structure to plan. We touched on that a little bit before. Everybody knows how important planning and a plan is. But guess what? If I look at your calendar right now, is there any time set aside for planning? And I can guarantee you that most likely there's not. So what we do is 4 times a year, we set aside that one day to review what has happened in the past, and then really make sure that we map out the next 90 days, the next 3 months, the next 12 weeks. So, and of course, all you need to do is show up with yourself, your team, those that are going to help you. Any past plans you may have had, any numbers, any financials that you may have had. Walk with your laptop. We use a lot of technology to make sure that this is super easy and easy to roll out to your company as well. We provide the rest. We provide the space, the structure, the time, the food, the environment. All of that is up to us. Number 8, you actually need a plan, not just for the bank. You might need it for investors. You might need it because you're pursuing ISO certification. You might need it to take it to the SBB for maybe a grant. You might need to take it for some other type of grant that exists, that if you don't show them a plan, nobody's going to want to be able to provide you with the money that's needed. Number 9, of course, this one seems simple. You want to be more profitable. For us, it means a minimum of 20% net profit on that revenue. It makes no sense you're doing $1 billion and you're making 5% on it. We need to take a look at how can you increase the revenue, yes, but also how can you manage the cost so that at the end of the year, you actually end up with a decent level of net profit. And the 10th reason that we were thinking of is that you actually end up with a more competent team. If you just keep doing the same thing you've been doing, to get better results, you have to work harder and harder and harder. That doesn't really help you scale. Setting aside the time to plan also allows you to plan for the development of your team members, which develops their competence, and then instead of working harder, they can work smarter. They can double and triple and five-fold the results that you were getting before. So these are some of the key reasons that and criteria as well that make for people who would be really good attendees to our quarterly planning session. If you fit at least 5 of these or more, I would encourage you to click on the link, get registered, learn a lot more about the session, and secure one of the final spots. And what I want to do with you is just come across here with me, and I want you to see the big benefits that you'll get out of attending. Yep. So I wanted to make sure that you not only understand if you're the right candidate to be in the session, I also want to make sure that you know what you're going to walk away with. What are the top benefits? So, of course, we will have over 100 businesses there, and these are some of the leading companies in this country. And they'll be supported by, one of the leading commercial banks in the country, the leading telecommunications company in the country, one of the leading branding companies in the country, and so much more. So, now, of course, benefit number 1 is the networking that will take place. You will meet people that you've never met in person before. You might have heard about them, but now you actually get to meet with them in person. So that's a fantastic benefit. Benefit number 2, you'll actually walk away with a quarterly plan. Of course, we will look at 5 years. Where are you actually heading to? Get clarity. Break it down to 3 years. Break it down to the end of a year. But then we'll break it down even further into the next 90 days and what must you accomplish every single week. That's what we guarantee you will walk away with on our quarterly planning day. Number 3, you'll get market knowledge. We will have guest speakers. We will have, I myself am doing a piece as well on where we're seeing the dynamics now between Guyana, Suriname, Trinidad, the rest of the world. So you have a good understanding from a business perspective where the market is going. And that is coupled with, number 4, of course, expert business advice. Our coaches will be present. They will be working with all the attendees, checking in to see how they're making progress with their plans. And I did tell you that this is the 40th Growth Club. This means that we've been doing this for 10 years. And doing it for 10 years, we have a few clients in the room who have been doing it for 8+ years. So we also have clients who are experts in this field who themselves will come around and give you some help, and they, feel free to ask them as well. These are very abundant people. They are very progressive people, very proactive people, and they love to help. So you'll have them in the room as well. Benefit number 5, you'll be using cutting-edge planning software. That is part of our coaching platform. So you will get access to the best of the best technology that exists out there. Number 6, the team buy-in, of course. You will, by working with your team and brainstorming with your team, ensure that everybody has discussed it and they know why you arrived at that plan. It's not just you thinking of something and that becomes the plan. Everyone gets involved, everybody buys in, everybody knows their part to play. Number 7, you walk away with a lot more motivation, clarity, and energy. Right? Really, now that you have all this clarity, it is so much easier to do every day what is needed with a ton of energy. Number 8, we expect that the thing that you do as a business, that of the 100+ companies that are there and individuals and managers, that some of them will become your clients as well, because if you're that good, why not test you out? And likewise, as number 9, we also expect you to get some new suppliers. Maybe the commercial bank that will be present there can provide you with much better services than your current bank is providing you. Maybe they're willing to take more of a risk. Maybe because they see that you're planning and you know what you're doing, they want to actually invest with you. So we do expect some of you to end up with new suppliers. And of course, number 10, that's one that I always remember from John Maxwell, which is you are the average of the 5 people you hang around the most with. We will give you the opportunity to be with a better peer group, a more proactive, progressive peer group. And that will cause your average to go up, because they'll ask you better questions and they will make sure that they help you fill some of the gaps that you currently have. So top 10 benefits, I'm sure there are a ton more. I just wanted to make sure that you know what you're signing up for and what you can be expecting, and the rest is up to you. See you there.